Why? The black writing got me. They got me from this side, and they got me from this side, and there's more coming, and it ends. Ah! Why? I'm so weak. I spent money this season, people. Welcome, some dumb guy here. And I have got, I'm just going to call it an unboxing nightmare at this point. And excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I got a little bit of a cold I have to soldier through here. So please bear with me if I voice cuts in and out, or I have to do some jump cuts and such to clear things out. You know, it happens. 'Tis the season and all, right? So what you see here is what I currently have, obviously. I know there's more coming. I have at least 2 additional packages coming probably in the next few days. And I think I'm just going to trickle out a multi-part catastrophe of unboxing insanity, and we'll just see how it plays out. Clearly not going to even try to do this all in one take. Although I might record a bunch of it in one shot, I am not going to put it together in 1 hour and 45-minute unboxing video. Wouldn't do that to you. Have a little more respect and appreciation for my viewers, even if I don't have it for myself. Oh my lord. Okay, well, okay, so what I'm going to do, I think, for part 1, I'm going to go the envelope stuff. This little, it's probably less than what it actually looks though, but I've got a package of individual and multi-pack movies and such coming in here from Groove, from Amazon, from Shout Factory. I want to say these boxes here are all from Groove, not 100%. But I figured we're going to start there and we're going to work through it. Join me, will you please? And we'll see what we got, okay? So let us begin, shall we? Okay, so stack removed, went through and slid open a bunch of packages, so you didn't have to hear me do that on camera because I make a bunch of already funky enough noise in the background. Those are ready to go. We're going to dive in and see what we have. Now, one I already had open the other day because it came in a larger package. It was a large package. This is a movie I've never seen before. Big surprise, right? Blind Buys for Some Dumb Guy. Maybe I should just rename my channel Blind Buys. I've always wanted to see this one, always been curious about it, and just decided I would finally pull the trigger. Got a good deal on this 4K for Sleepy Hollow. Heard nothing but great things about this movie. I don't know why, when it was new, it flew so under my radar, but it did. Are we not focusing here? Is that okay? And there it is. So it went on sale. I'm going to have to check this one out. I'm going to set it aside. I got loose discs in here. I want to make sure that one's okay. So we are going to set that guy aside for the time being, so I make sure to check it out afterwards. Now, next up, when I got this package, I Googled it, and the first thing that came up as I started typing it in was Shout Factory. Well, I did make a Shout Factory purchase, so I'm assuming this is it, although I think I bought 4 movies. This doesn't quite feel thick enough, so maybe one of my other packages has some others. And peeking in, there's 3 out of my 4 in here, so yeah, we don't need the packing list. We shall start off with mixed feelings on this one. Non-blind buy. Have seen it before. I remember liking it when I originally saw it. And the price tag for the new Blu-ray release was not to my liking. I hope I'm not alone in thinking that $30 for a Blu-ray, even brand new, is unreasonable. Even more so when it's a title that is 30 years old. And to add insult to injury, the movie star is very much out of favor with me in a recent couple of years due to some, how should we say, negligent actions on his part, some irresponsibilities. and a complete lack of personal accountability and responsibility for those actions. To present the Blu-ray of The Getaway. And guess who we're talking about here? That's right, you, Alec Baldwin, shooter of people because you're too careless to follow the time-honored rules and practices and procedures when filming movies in which you handle and fire firearms, which you, as an actor, have been trained to do, not to mention the fact that you are the director and executive producer of the film, which makes you triply responsible for ensuring proper gun safety. I don't care that you had an armorer on the set. You, sir, know better. And as actor John Snyder has broken down in a video that he made on this specific subject, shortly after you shot and killed somebody, an actor knows to inspect the weapon prior to handling it, prior to a camera rolling. And you know that. He knows that. And he's been in the game much longer than you have. But this was not, obviously, your first rodeo in handling weapons on screen, sir. I don't care what a court says. I don't care what technicalities people come up with in Hollywood. This is on you. I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this because this came up on sale on Shout Factory, and I got a considerably better deal for it, and I've wanted to own it. I'm hoping, because this will really be maybe the first time I've seen this man on film since the shooting. I'm hoping that I can separate enough of that and still enjoy the movie again like I used to. Time will tell. You know what? Let's rewind a bit. I don't want this reveal here to be all about this jackass, because let's celebrate Kim Basinger and James Woods in here and their incredible performances, as well as Michael Madsen. And I, for life of me, sadly, cannot remember the name of this actor. He's great. Always loved him in everything he's done. I don't see that he's listed in the cast here. We got Jennifer Tilly's also in it. Is it Richard Farnsworth? Is that the name? Sounds familiar there. See if we can get focus on that. Great little character actor. I've always enjoyed him. I would rather celebrate this movie for the positives than for the negatives. You know what I'm saying? Let's just have a little bit of positivity injected in there before we continue. And speaking of which, from 1988, a film that its premise intrigued me from the very beginning, but never got around to seeing, so hence another blind buy. This one also on sale, and I decided to pick up the Blu-ray of James Spader in Jack's Back. This is some kind of Jack the Ripper take, or a modern update, or retelling, or continuation of. It says here on the cover, 100 years ago in the city of London, a man shocked the world by raping, murdering, and mutilating women. That's pleasant. He was never caught. Is this a reincarnation? A copycat? We shall find out. Hey, I'm blurry. I'm not blurry anymore. Okay. Last for this envelope. Ooh, Blu-ray double feature, which I actually bought this for only one of the two movies that I have seen. The second I have not. Early Jim Carrey, ladies and gentlemen. Early Jim Carrey. Now this one, Once Bitten. Have seen it, enjoyed it when I was young. Love at First Bite. I know nothing about whatsoever, although I do recognize the title. And yeah, Lauren Hutton, Jim Carrey, Karen Hopkins, I don't know who she is, Cleavon Little. I thought that might be fun to revisit that one. That is from 1985. I did not realize this movie was that old. Wow. For some reason, I thought this was a late 80s, early 90s release. I'll be damned. Well, good fun, I hope. We shall see. All right, so a thicker Amazon package here, envelope. And ironically, though, what we're going to come out of this is another Shout Factory release. And the reasoning for that be WKRP in Cincinnati. I grew up on this show, or maybe not quite grew up. It was a show I watched as a youngster. I bought this off of Amazon for the price. And I think here, $19.99, I believe, is what I paid for this, if memory serves. Even on Shout Factory's sale, which, you know, as you can see, this is their release. This thing is like $60 or $40. I mean, it's up in the neighborhood of $40, $60. It's up there. Amazon's got this exact same set for $20 on sale, and your own in-house sale couldn't even match that price. I was completely blown away. It had been on my wish list for both sites for I don't even know how long. And I just like, you know what? I'm getting it through Amazon. I just can't justify paying 2 or 3 times the price of it unnecessarily. I wish it was in the, I know, hate me if you will, more compact packaging. Although, so I didn't realize this was only, so it's 2 seasons per case. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I would have preferred a all-included package, but now that I know that it's 2 seasons per, that's not so bad after all. I'm sure everything is just fine. We'll move on and squash those concerns. Next up, ooh, they sure did a number on my slipcover here. That is not a happy time. I don't care too much about slipcovers, fortunately, but still, brand new 4K. And I'm on the fence about this one. I got it at a pretty healthy price with a discount on top. It was listed when I found it on a sale price, but when I found it, I opened up the product page. It had a listing for a promotion. If you add 3 qualifying titles to your shopping cart and check out, you'll save an additional, I think it's $10.80. I clicked on the link. It didn't give me any list of titles. All it said for its criteria was that it had to be titles that were sold and shipped by Amazon. I had a cart full of them, and it never deducted the price. So I reached out to customer service, as I want to do because this kind of thing happens to me all the time. And as always happens to me all the time, I get multiple customer service agents who don't have an answer, don't want to look into it, so they drop the call, the chat, right? They say, oh, sorry, this person got pulled away, this person got disappeared, or whatever, and then gets shuffled on to the next person. So I spend a good half hour, 45 minutes back and forth with these people. And then the next one comes in, oh, I hope I can help you out. I'm like, well, hey, I've got somewhere to be. I need to leave in 10 minutes. This is all the time I have left to work this situation out. This is what's going on. Well, go ahead and try to check out. It'll be fine. I've already tried that. It does not discount. Well, finally, this last person proved what I have known all along for Amazon customer service agents. And they say, well, the promotion has already expired. Odd, considering that it's in my cart, it's there. Every time I click on the product page, it lists the promotion. But what they tell me is, as for an inconvenience to satisfy me, thanks, that they were going to go ahead and give me a $12 courtesy gift card on my account that I could use for this purchase. So all the previous issues I've had in the past where I couldn't get promotions to work, they've had the power to do this and choose not to. This person says, you know what? Okay, it's legit. I'm going to go ahead and work this out. Whether the promotion had actually expired or not, I don't know, because it was still there on the screen and I could see it. So I bought it. So if I take that $10.80, which turned into $12, I'll do the math, of course, after I look it all up and figure it out. I got this at a really good price. So thank you for House of the Dragon 4K Season 2 with creased slipcover. Got this, and we shall see. Now this is really awkward. This slipcover is very loose, and it seems to have some kind of booklet inside. I don't know what the deal is with that. It just says all must choose on the front there. I don't know what this is. It almost looks like it could be a case for another disc or something, some kind of bonus material. I do not know. Including the extended versions of the 8-part featurette, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if that's what it is or whatever. I don't really care. It's not my concern. Blurry again. I was not going to watch House of the Dragon. As with so many of others, the utter failure of Game of Thrones was disgusting. And I was pretty determined just to wash my hands of it all, right? Look at who's here. It's Sugar. Say hi, Sugar. Sugar always wants to visit when I'm on video. Yes, she does. So, anyway, like so many others, I was in a position where I was not too thrilled with everything. Wasn't interested in any prequels or spin-offs or whatever. But season 1 of House of the Dragon came out. It was reviewed positively. The consensus was this was a great show. Right? So, what the heck? I'll give it a try. So I went and I bought it. I was nowhere near as impressed as everybody else. Not that there was anything necessarily wrong with the quality of the writing per se, although I did have issues with the time jumps and the recasting. But that was in conjunction with my bigger issue with the show, and maybe you guys, viewers, have had that same problem. I had a lot of problems with the names of the characters. Whether there were too many similarities between names or what, I don't know. I couldn't keep track, and I pretty much binged the first season after I bought it on 4K. I had a great degree of difficulty keeping track of one name versus another when people were being referenced. Obviously, when they're on screen, okay, that's fine. But already having that issue of keeping track of who's who, you get like halfway through the season and we get a time jump and they recast a bunch of people. So it was almost like starting fresh. Now what? So I had a lot of issues with that, and I think it took me out of the show. It took away a lot of my enjoyment of it. Season 2 has been less well received than season 1 by far, and I probably would not have touched it had the price not come down as low as it was. I will rewatch season 1 prior to watching season 2, and I will see if upon second viewing, if my opinion improves, if my name memory retention improves, and I can get into it a little bit better, might help. Or it might make season 2 a little bit more disappointing for that reason too. We'll see, I guess. I understand the show is going to have a limited run as it is, and I think I've even heard there might be another 2 years before season 3 comes around, and it was already cut short for reasons, I guess, because of the strike or whatever. They took episodes that were originally going to be intended for season 2 and plugged them in now for season 3. It doesn't bode well for the future of the show. So season 3 will be less likely for me than probably season 2 is. Let's get back on track here and move on to the next package, shall we? I've rambled enough, and we're already pushing this one long as it is for a somewhat limited selection of movies. This is my other Shout Factory release, so this will be the 4th one from their sale. This one was a blind buy, but I love the cast. I love the premise. We have Benedict Cumberbatch, Jared Harris, who I don't know by name, but I might know by face, Sam Neill, Victoria Hamilton, don't know, and Jamie Sives, sorry. What we have here is a epic sea voyage trilogy. And this is largely spawned from, I see a picture of what looks like Charles Dance, but he's not listed anywhere on the credits here. I have a love for Master and Commander in the first season of The Terror. So when it comes to period naval stuff. I'm kind of a fan. I'm kind of curious. To the Ends of the Earth. This is the face I recognize but don't have a name for. And this appears to be Charles Dance, who is nowhere listed in front or back. I would really want to promote him. Ah, well, look, way down here. Where's that? There's his name, right there. That's his only credit on the cover. That's terrible. But they're calling this a trilogy. It's a 267-minute runtime. I'm wondering if this is some kind of made for television or made for video thing. I did not realize that this was a series, 3-part miniseries is what it says here. So made for television, even better. Got a great price on that one, and that may near the top of my future watch list. I'm blurry. There we go. Okay, next up. More 4K. There was a lot of controversy on this release because it's a 4K and apparently all of its special features were relegated to a digital copy. None on disc, no Blu-ray incorporated with this release included. But again, price sometimes overrules everything, and I got a slip cover which looks great. We have Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon. I saw this once as a kid. I have Criterion's Bruce Lee set, which for right now, for the life of me, I can't quite recall if this movie's included in that or not. But I heard it looks damn good. And I wanted it, and now I have it. So there. Yeah. Okay, so next up, we've got a groove. We're going to get groovy here, ladies and gentlemen. And our first bit of grooviness is a blind buy Asian flick starring Donnie Yen and Andy Lau. And this is something I do on Groove on a regular basis, it seems. Buying Asian cinema that I've never seen, strictly because it pops up randomly on one of their sales. And because it's on a good price, I end up getting it as an inexpensive gamble. And I'm rarely disappointed in the Asian cinema I explore, whether it be Chinese, Korean, Indian, whatever. This one here is called Chasing the Dragon. I don't think I even read a synopsis of it. I do like Donnie Yen quite a lot, what I've seen of him. I believe I'm marginally familiar with Andy Lau. The name is very familiar to me. I'd have to look him up for his filmography to see what else he's done, but you know, that's part of my problem though, and I have to live with it. This is what I do. Purchase number 2, I have seen this once, so not a blind buy. Blu-ray of Lost in Translation with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson in blurry, non-focused fashion. I'm wondering if it's my extra light that is causing that to happen. I'm going to turn it off real quick, and I'm going to see if that helps my transitions or not. But no, I can't quite see my pics as well. Double-edged sword there. Hey, kitty. What are you doing? Come here. Oh, look who he is. Here she is. Say hi. Say hi. She's so cute. She purrs. Got your happy motor going. Anyway, so I saw this when it came out. I enjoyed it. Came up on the sale. Decided to pull the trigger. Throwing my empty envelopes onto the stack of the full ones. That makes a lot of sense. More Groove. I had a lot of my Groove purchases shipped individually this time around. I wish they wouldn't. I don't like this style of packaging. I got kitty fur on my face. DeepDiscount.com packages a lot of their products this way, and I've had a lot of issues with damage. I hope I didn't double dip on this. I don't think I did. Been watching some of these titles on my watch list for too long, or been tempted to buy them for too long, but expanding my Clint Eastwood library of Blu-ray, The Outlaw Josie Wales. There we go. I'm really torn between the lighting on this because it's just not as bright. There we go. I guess we're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of inconvenient focusing because the lighting is better this way. Yeah. Love me some Eastwood. But I'm also expanding my John Wayne, hopefully on equal measure. More Groove. Ooh, loose disc. We'll set this one aside to check out after the recording. I'm gonna basically, looks like I'm gearing up to do an Eastwood versus Wayne Western Fest. I'm so ashamed of this purchase. And again, it's one that I made strictly on price. I hate this movie, or I hated it in the theater the one time I saw it. And it's been a long time since I've hated a movie as much as this. But probably everything deserves a second chance. I can only hope this turns out to be one of them. But I found this on Walmart, sold by Groove, are really cheap. I have the previous two films. This trilogy, Halloween Ends. Probably still, I think this would, at least as of right now, my first viewing. This film ranks to me right now as the worst in the entirety of the franchise by a considerable margin. The fact that I own it now means I want to change that opinion. I'm afraid to change my opinion because where I stand right now, or how I view this film, I don't want to like it. I really don't want to like this movie. I don't know. I don't like what it would say about me as a fan if I do. But here I am buying it. I went and saw it. A friend of mine and we both walked out with the exact same impression. And then another friend of mine saw it. And we had a very lengthy discussion about it after. And he went back for multiple viewings. Although I think he said he didn't think it was any good. He really enjoyed it for some reason and kept going back to see it. And I could never understand that. And when we had our discussion about it, which lasted like a couple of hours, he didn't disagree with any of the negative things I had to say about it. So, I don't know. We'll see. We're almost there. Let's keep soldiering on. On Blu-ray, blind buy, we have Police Squad in color. The complete series. Basis for the Naked Gun films, which, believe it or not, I have never seen the films or the show, although I think I maybe have seen a bit of maybe one of them. Not sure. But Leslie Nielsen, how can you go wrong, you know? Next up, looking forward to this one. Expanding my Hitchcock collection on Blu-ray, we have Strangers on a Train. There's probably a very good likelihood that my library will eventually include every Hitchcock film ever made that has not been lost to time, which I understand there are a few of his early works. But I'm definitely on a Hitchcock purchasing phase, and that's perfectly okay. I don't recognize any of the cast. Farley Granger, Ruth Roman, Robert Walker. This movie gets a lot of praise, but cast-wise, it's very much under the radar. It's interesting. I didn't even know that. I hadn't looked into it before I purchased it. Last package, Amazon. Good, we're gonna call it quits for this particular segment. 4K. Another one I wasn't overly fond of. when it came out. No, missed the slipcover on this one. This movie was really hyped when it was new, and that hype missed me when I watched it. So again, good sale price. Gonna check it out. Give it a second viewing. We have Training Day. Incredible Denzel Washington and the almost always reliable Ethan Hawke. I've been watching since he was a kid in Explorers, which I think is either first or one of his first roles. So they got envelopes everywhere. There we have it. Part 1 of 2 of a planned trilogy of a 4-part series. I think it's 5 o'clock. It's gotten dark since I've been filming. I'm going for a Burger King break. And then maybe I'll come back and pop open one of these 3 boxes and continue on, huh? What do you think? Okay. Thank you for joining me. Please join me for the rest and share the movie experience with me. What did you guys get for Black Friday? What did you indulge in? Please use the comment section below. That's what it's there for. Tell me what you think of my goodness. Tell me of your goodness. I would really like to hear what your purchases of choice were for this holiday discount season. And thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next time around. Good night and take care.